update from Liberty coach Eric Clayton. Coach, it's time to start hitting some other people, and that happens this Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock at the Tony's Pizza Event Center when Wichita comes in. Kind of give us a scouting report about, well, first of all, I want to know what, you made your final cuts last night, so how you feel about the team, and maybe give us a bit of a scouting report on Wichita.
I'll tell you, we really did make cuts last night, and the coaching staff and myself came up with a plan, and hopefully that we picked the right guys. It's always a tough situation when you're trying to pick the best players to be out there and represent your team, and we did the best that we thought we could, and came up with a nice roster last night.
Let me ask you this: is a little tougher this year? That's even a better situation, though, isn't it? When you have good athletes and a good pool to pick from.
Right, and they made it tough for us this season.
But that's actually better for you, because when it makes it tough, you must have had a pretty good camp.
We had some nice players. We did have a nice camp, and I think we are ready to hit somebody else besides ourselves. And Wichita's coming in, the defending champions of the CIF, and they got a lot of nice players, and they're pretty salty all the way around. Clarence Anderson's one of their key players that wanted to focus on when they're on the offensive side, and McKendrick Harper on the defensive side. He's a great defensive back, and Jason Ketchings at the linebacker position. They, like I said, they got quite a few good players, and they're the defending champs, and we're going to give them our best shot.
Okay, you made final cuts last night. You're on to your 24 kickoffs Sunday at 2. Kind of what are the players doing right now? And what's coaching staff doing to kind of get ready, putting the final pieces in the puzzle?
Well, I can tell you the players right now are probably all still sleeping, but the coaches are working all the time, trying to watch film and to see what game plan we're coming up with. We got it pretty much in place, but there's always that little extra last-second detail that we're looking for.
Now, with your type and style of football, what do you look for when you look at films? Is it
Well, we look at tendencies of other teams, what they might do that tip us off on a play or something of that nature, and what kind of personnel they have, what their main plays are, what they focus on, and how they run their defense.
Well, of course, it's all about timing for me. Well, in any football game, but for me, the timing is making sure that the ball is snapped at the time your receivers are at the line of scrimmage. So there'll probably be a case that will need some bugs worked out by both teams, and my guess is there'll probably be some officials that need to get some bugs worked out too. I remember going to opening games last year. So
that's correct, and that's what we worked on in camp, was the timing issue, with our guys going in the high motion, and getting the snap count at the right time. So.
Now, who has the bragging rights for the fastest on the team?
Is it 40? I never really had them do a competition, but I think Ed Smith is pretty fast. The guy played out at Fort Hays State. He was a running back out there, and we got him in the wide receiver position. For our team, Ed Smith is probably one of our fastest guys.
Yeah, that was always something. Believe it or not, being a running back, you always kind of took pride in who was the fastest on the team. Who's the biggest?
The biggest guy is probably Darius Parrish, played at KU. A big guy. He's probably about 6'5", 6'6", and about the 330 range.
Oh, man, that even hurts thinking about that.
Yeah,
that's the type of guy that can pick you up and slam you down pretty hard. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm even getting sore thinking about that.
Well, I know it's really fast and intense and hard hitting, and that's the one thing about. If you haven't been to an indoor football game, go out and see the Liberty this Sunday afternoon. For the fact is, it combines to me hockey, basketball, and football. I like the speed of the game. It is a very quick-paced game, and when it comes to percentages of plays, got to give the folks who may have not seen indoor football before. What percentage do you offense do you run, and what percentage do you pass?
Well, most, the time when we were on offense, it's probably a passing game, and everybody's, pretty to that. I don't know percentage-wise of what the passing game is, but, Sioux City runs the ball a lot, and they've won a championship or two with running the ball. So, it's the various coaching styles, are different. So, we'll probably pass quite a bit, with a mix of the run game also.
Halftime shows. What kind of things? You have some things.
I try to just keep
focus on the.
I focus on the stuff inside the white lines, and the halftime is put up with the GM and some owners that.
Well, they always
take care
have
of
some
that.
real neat halftime programs where you know, the kids can get involved and fans can get involved down on the floor.
Right.
You
And
know,
I'm sure our Liberty Bells will be performing at halftime
be
also.
exciting.
So.
And that's the nice thing too, is after the game, young people, this is where you can get young people involved in some very positive aspects of athletics, get a chance to meet players after the game
Yeah,
too,
that's
and you develop some real sincere and staunch fans with the young kids.
Right, and they come down and you get an autograph and you end up catching the ball out in the stands. You can bring that down and them guys will sign it and, you know, they'll take pictures and do whatever you want.
Oh, I got to ask you as a coach, a cringe-worthy moment.
All right.
I always love when he smiles. He goes, "Oh man, what's he coming up with?" I always get nervous when I see in the NFL where a running back flips into the end zone and can hyper extend his knee or hurt themselves with extra showmanship. Does that ever make you cringe just a little bit?
Not really. In this game, you know, showmanship's a little bit part of it. You know, it's an entertainment
absolutely.
factor, and I, you know, I want them to do it a little bit, but then get back over and let's get ready for the next play.
Yeah. See, I'm old school where act like you've been in the end zone, but I understand what you're saying. You know, they get in the end zone, and it's really fun to see the enthusiasm and excitement. But when I see them flip and I see that knee hyperextended a little bit,
Well,
I'm
knock
like,
on wood, we don't want to have the injury bug like we had last year.
oh yeah,
I was
well,
going to
that hurt
say,
you.
outside of the typical dinks and doinks that you get in practice and so forth, ready to go, and no health issues.
That's correct. That's correct. You know, and like I said, you know, 3 games in 14 days, man. We're gonna have to really prepare ourselves, and hopefully, we're blessed enough to not have any injuries.
You haven't been smacked in the head with an errant throw or a player run into you.
I've had a couple players run into me
Have
before,
you?
so but I'm a big enough guy that I
Oh
could
yeah,
probably
you
knock
can
them down
handle it too. Oh yeah.
Well, again, the game is against Wichita this Sunday, 2:00 at the Tony's Pizza Event Center. Get out there early, and the City of Salina allows tailgating. Weather's going to be good for tailgating, and if you've not experienced,
And they're allowing that at the
yes,
Tony's Pizza Center, so it's kind of a neat deal.
it's going to be a fun time. And if you've not experienced and I got to tell you, I had my doubts when I first went to indoor games, but man, I'm hooked on it now.
Oh, yeah,
It's got everything. And Coach, wish you well, and let's knock off Wichita and get things started right this season.
Thank you so much.
All right, it is 8:42.